seriously look at shoot. She's filming, but she doesn't direct her subjects in the right direction. And then she looks like this.
Good morning, Hanoi.
Morning.
So we are back in Hanoi. We came back yesterday and took it a little easy in the afternoon. And today we started early. It's not that early anymore because
We're gonna go to the famous train street to see what this is all about.
first take.
See if we have better luck this time.
Yeah, and as you can see, it is raining in Hanoi today. It was raining a lot in the morning. It's not raining right now, so we are testing our rain gear. And this is how we're gonna spend our day, because later on
We're catching a bus and we're on our way to Haijiang to see the Haijiang live.
yeah, so this is our last day in Hanoi. Half a day actually, because we're leaving in the evening. So we're gonna take a little bit of it, but we're also gonna rest a lot in the afternoon because, well, it's a night bus and we're starting in the morning. We need to be well rested.
So the city is super active. Last night they also closed off the streets because they were organizing a marathon this morning.
And partying. So we just walked past the place that probably the marathon started, or maybe this is the finish line, we don't know. And I think, but we can double check it, that I saw like a sign saying kids run. So apart from the marathon, there's also an activity for kids, and there was like this person facilitating and like encouraging the crowd to run. It was actually super fun, but we couldn't stop because we're on a mission to the train station. Few more blocks to go. Let's go. Hanoi in the rain. Actually, after the rain, it's not raining anymore. It's still very hot and quite humid, but I gotta say it's quite a relief after the last few days of extreme heat and humidity. So we're enjoying it. It's a little bit better this way. I just wanted to add that we are back in Hanoi after 2-day, well, 24-hour absence. And I think we got used to it a little bit. So now we know how to behave in the city. It's still not our turf. Please don't mistake that for us being comfortable here, but at least we know the rules. And Uli just very bravely crossed the street on the red light among all the traffic. Pretty sure?
It was the green light. And you gotta keep up in this city, otherwise it's gonna swallow you whole.
Green light for who? So we made it on time for the train to pass. The schedule on the weekends is actually more active than during the weekdays. So the next train will come in half an hour, so we have half an hour to spare. And as you can see on the other side, there is no barricade. And what I'm gonna attempt right now is to cross the street and walk up and down this very secret path. If I don't come back, Uri said he's holding Poland online. Very, very funny. You know where I went, okay? I thought we would never cross, but well, we managed. Do you remember a few days ago? There was a barricade and angry people, and watch out now, nothing. Just a normal track in the middle of, well, urban areas. I gotta admit, I'm a little bit nervous right now because I entered this camera's turf, which is not my turf, but I can see some tourists there, so we are in it together, and Uli is having my back. That's what he said. I don't know. I'm just gonna make a tiny loop in here, and then I'm gonna go back to safety to Uli. This is the most famous part of the truck. I think we're gonna grab our coffee at the safer and more modern coffee shop where I started our trip. So that would be it. This is all the hype about train coffee.
After many posts from different YouTubers, many Instagrammers and so on, this has become a really famous street in Hanoi. The train passes at certain hours during the day on weekdays. It has a different schedule on weekends. Soon it'll pass in about 15 minutes. And you get to see it go along these different houses along the way, and it's become a really famous spot for people to come here, grab a coffee, sit down, watch the train pass, and then continue their day in Hanoi.
Guys, the train is coming, the train is coming. Can you hear the rings? So I took a strategic position here at the rails while Uli is tasting his delicious coffee
An iced coconut coffee.
in a cafe nearby. Are you ready? We made it to the train cafe. I'm standing very close to the wall. This was the instructions. Probably it's not very legal, and we are not allowed to re-enter the cafe right now during the side door. We can only do it through the front door. So once the train passes, and we are to stand very close to the wall. So I'm basically leaning towards the coffee shop wall. It's a funny experience. I've never been so excited to see a train. And this is the end.
Wow.
Wow, they didn't wait a second. Look at this wild traffic.
Train street experience. Done. Video recorded. Not done.
So after this classic, epic failure in the history of cinema, we're humbled. We appreciate the craft of video making a little bit more. And we also have a few lessons learned from this experience. Number one, trains come from both directions.
Always make sure to ask that question before setting your camera down.
Yeah. So
Number two, don't move the camera
once it's set.
once it's set. Number three, overall, I think it was nice to see the train street and watch the trains pass by.
Oh, and remember how 2 hours ago I told you something about the air being a little bit fresher and not as humid? I take it all back.
It's humid again.
It is humid again, and we are all wet. And it was not rain. So now that we have these morning experiences and emotions behind us, we will go and check out
The Temple of Literature and the one-story pagoda.
exactly. So see you there. We exited the old quarter because we crossed the rails, and we are heading to the one-pillar, one-story pagoda. And you can see how the city is totally different in here. Emptier, with big pavements, not as many people, not as chaotic, both in terms of traffic and architecture, and the crowds that gather. Nearly feels like you were in a different city, huh? Have we talked about traffic in here already?
No, I don't think so.
No, not at all. So we just had the most hectic crossing of the street ever in...
Yes. Yes.
Don't say that, don't say that. And basically how it works is you need to make your way through, be deliberate, but not too imposing. You're a pedestrian, you have no chance. And you do it lane by lane. But actually you do it step by step. So you're slowly making your way through the street, and you basically evaluate every single car and motorbike and see how much chance you stand with them. It's
Right.
speeds up your heart rate.
It's quite an experience. We're walking to the Temple of Literature. This Temple of Literature was built in 1070 by Emperor Le. It was originally built for students from noble families, but then it opened up to include more students And really the goal was to study Confucianism. And today, students actually come here to pray at this temple, and they pray for good grades. So let's go check it out and pray for good grades. So for 30,000 dong each, you can get tickets to the Temple of Literature. You'll notice that in this complex you have 5 different sections, and each of them are designed into gardens. They have ponds. We may even spot a bridge. It's relatively new. It was built around the 19th century by one of the emperors, and the paths, like we've seen on many other sections, are reserved for either the king and the administrative staff, and then other paths are reserved for people that lived in Hanoi. And also students, so it was also open for other people to come into this these set of courtyards.
We are in the first courtyard of the complex. Notice how peaceful it is comparing to the outside world that is just behind this wall. The courtyard is rectangular and symmetrical, so you just saw a pond on my right hand side, and there's a similar one on the other side. And in the middle, there's this gate for the emperor. Now we're gonna walk toward the gate. I think we're gonna use the side one. There's a little bit less people to get to the next courtyard and discover this complex garden by garden. We opted for the emperor's gate, so we're gonna enter the second courtyard through this gate now. First sight, it looks very similar to the first one, except for the beautiful gate. Wow. Even though they're symmetrical and quite basic in nature, I like the way it prepares you to enter the main courtyard that I think we will enter soon. The next one, I can see many buildings in there, and the decorated dragons on the roof of one of the buildings or gates just in front of us.
Celle were actually put together 400 years after the university was established here, and they were created to recognize the different scholars that came through this school.
We are entering the Gate of Sentences, and the Temple of Literature is just in front of us, and it truly is worshipped by students. And we can see an entire batch of graduate students taking their photo shoots in here. It's actually quite cute and very joyous moment for them. They're here with their families and friends, but it also means that it's extremely busy right now. It's probably always this way. Correction, it actually is a graduation ceremony in this very beautiful place. Isn't it cute? I wish my ceremony was here.
The fifth courtyard that we're standing in was founded by King Li in 1076. And the whole idea behind this school was a school for students of noble families. So they came from different regions. The space and the complex in general, leading into the 18th and 19th century, fell into disrepair. They had to replace a few roofs on some of these. Some of them caught on fire from shelling by the French. But they've restored them since and give us what we see here today. This space is dedicated to the three emperors that contributed to this complex.
There's a sign, do not use a klaxon here. I'm wondering why. It's so calm and peaceful in this section of the city. We have yet to figure out what happened on 10/10/1954 because the big anniversary, the posters you can see all over the city. The big anniversary will be in 3 days, so we are aware of the what the Vietnamese will be celebrating. But at the same time, can you see how wide the pavement is? And there's some planted and kept greenery. There's basically no trash in here. Wow.
We were thinking about going to the One Pillar Pagoda. We arrived and soon we realized that the One Pillar Pagoda is actually right around the corner from the Ho Chi Minh Mausoleum. A very well guarded area.
And it turned out that we are not properly dressed because I'm wearing shorts
So
because it's so hot. And we were not thinking about coming here in the first place in the morning, I think. So we just wandered around and we are wearing shorts that are showing our knees, and this is not a proper outfit. Also, we were having our cameras and phone in our hands, and these are bad objects.
So we were turned away.
So we turned away, and I think we gotta go today.
I think so. We have a few things left to plan. I don't think we have time to go change, but if you're in the area and you want to check out the One Pillar Pagoda, just keep in mind that the Ho Chi Minh Mausoleum is right next door, so wear the appropriate outfit, make sure your knees are covered out of respect.
And arms. Our arms are covered by the
Shoulders, yeah. All right, we'll leave you there.
We are walking back for the old quarter. We wanted to take a Grab, but the price for the ride was double what it usually is. So we are walking 2 streets over to get back to the normal prices. We took the Grab from there a few days ago, and we actually hit the Imperial Citadel again. And as we are walking on the other side of the street, we have a better view of the flag tower. Isn't it glorious? And on the other side from the Imperial Citadel, there is a Lenin Park with Lenin statue. But just look at the transcription, it's Lenin. So that's why I did not recognize it at first, because of the transcription. But the statue itself leaves no doubts. Looks like a nice park.